Hey guys, Slender Magic here, and it looks like before the Pro Tour, during the Pro Tour, believe it or not, and then after the Pro Tour, there were a different set of spikes. First, people thought mill would be a thing. They weren't wrong, but I think that people had just enough notice that if they had the room, they put Perpetual Timepiece in their sideboard, which is like a 2-cost colorless "you're not gonna mill me" card. It is just over at that point. Plus, it's really damn hard to play around control if your whole entire strategy is Fraying Sanity, Startled Awake. There are almost no other mill cards, and certainly none that hit for 13. That said, the deck is incredibly annoying. I played against somebody on X-Mage, and turn, I think it was 3, 4, and 5, they got out Fraying Sanity, Fraying Sanity, Fraying Sanity. Actually, the last turn they didn't play it, they misclicked it, so I knew they had it, and then they just played Startled Awake. And apparently the triggers go on the stack without a value, which is actually somewhat common now that I think about it. So the first one hit for 13, the actual spell, then the Fraying Sanity hit for 13, and then the second Fraying Sanity hit for 26 because it's retroactive. Or, well, not really retroactive, it's calculated at the time of resolution, which I think is ridiculous. They should have made the card legendary, obviously. There's like 5 cards in Standard right now that they should have made legendary. I mean, even just as foretold, I mean, people are playing it because it's still a really expensive card, but it's not in, like, major decks. But holy crap, should it not be, like, 2 or 3 or 4 left on the field. So, from the sound of it, I haven't looked myself, but I've heard, I don't know, headlines. Basically, a bunch of cards that are red and involve lots and lots of damage really, really quickly have gone up quite a bit. Now, whenever Red Rush is popular, it just outright ruins the game. Just absolutely ruins it. If you have a fantastic strategy, it's perfect. Its early game is a good setup. Its mid game is amazing. And then its end game is just devastatingly crushing. Too bad you're going to get beat in the early game. You literally have to run 12 creature removal spells or you will not survive. And we've had a meta like that and everybody hated it. So now because of it, every single deck I'm playing online, or playing against I should say, not me personally, is just a control nightmare. Like, no matter what colors it is, it's creature removal, control, counter spells, disruption, bounce back to hand, board wipe. And, you know, while I'm glad that Bantu's last, whatever, Reckoning or whatever, is actually getting some play, because it's a damn good card, it's annoying, because if you're trying to set something up, they'll just knock it down. And I mean, okay, that's control, welcome to control, but it's just every deck is control, and it's getting really flippin' annoying. So I'm going to have to just ignore the last 2 decks that I built, which are fantastic decks, unfortunately, and just build the anti-Red Rush deck. So watch for that by probably, I don't know, 2 days from now. So that's the news on the meta. Let's get into the money, because that's what this video is really about. Because, I mean, I'm not into, like, MTG Finance, and I'm not, like, giving out tips for you to buy up 50 of a card. That's not really what these are for. This is more like, hey, don't get trade sharked, you know? Basically, it's like, hey, you've got money in your binder, and you didn't know about it. It's bulk. It was $1, and now it's $10. Congratulations. You know, you might want to consider trading it. And even, you know, for about $2.65, I think, you can send a first-class package with a couple cards in it. You could have just a couple copies of a $20 card that used to not be $20, send it in for in-store credit on, like, Channel Fireball or Card Kingdom. They both, I think, give 30% additional value in in-store credit, and you could buy a deck with that. I mean, they're offering pretty damn good prices on these. Either that or it's a good time to trade it to another person or a good time to trade it to a store if your store does that. So just the awareness of, hey, you've got money and it might not stay that way, take action now. I figure, why wouldn't I make a video on that? So first up, we've got Sweltering Suns, and who exactly didn't see this one coming? You guys remember the price on Anger of the Gods, right? This is Anger of the Gods. I mean, it's a red board wipe, basically. Now, obviously, it's an unreliable board wipe, but with so many sets legal, the result is smaller, more powerful creatures. Just in general, people just stop trying to pull off a 4-cost 4/4, and they start throwing out, you know, really good utility on tribal, you know, kind of 3 toughness creatures. So yeah, it's a fairly reliable board wipe. But the most important thing about this card is that it would appear in the artwork that the guy is totally dabbing on the haters. So hashtag dab on the haters, I can get behind that. He's doing the old one-handed I'm falling over pillar grab single-handed dab, but, you know, it's still a dab. Now, the one concern was in red, is it going to take out all your own creatures? Probably, because not much in red is, like, high toughness. It's usually really high attack and garbage for toughness right now, but I don't know, if people get into a tight situation, this is the reset, and it's just like a little bit of a long shot. So it was hovering around $1.25 in April, which was really messed up. I guess it just didn't fit in the Amonkhet meta, but it's one of those cards where you just know it could take off at any time, kind of like Archangel of Thune or Always Watching or Cryptolith Right. You just know that it's powerful and it might go in something. So now it's floating right around $4.10, $4, just a little bit over 4. Probably going to go up a little bit more because it's just so good. And then as soon as we start losing options after the cycle, we're going to see tons of money go into this card. So if I had him, maybe I would sell him right now. But if you want to play the long game here, I think it'll hit $5 or $6 potentially after the rotation. But it is very possible that, the next block will not be creature heavy, and there you go. So next up is a little bit of a mini spike. This one, it's not really a spike, it's like a return to the price it should have been. Back in April, this card was $5. So it's, of course, Soul Scar Mage, the Prowess 1/2. And it makes all of your spells have Wither, basically. Oh, and also most activated abilities. So that's kind of nice because, you could hit something that's a 5/5 with a shock spell, which does, I think, 2. Yeah, 2. And then it gets -2 until the end of the game, basically. So that alone is cool, and the whole Soul Scar thing with Prowess and I'm going to hit you and I've got 2 toughness for 1, that's pretty damn good. So overall, it was always a good card, but guess what? It hit $1.30 back in June. So Amonkhet came out, and here we go. Here comes the rise, and it's just slowly creeping up. It's every day it gains 5 cents, almost on an exact linear rise. So right now it's floating right around 250, and I think maybe it'll hit higher. I don't think that this is everybody's first choice in a red deck, because if it's creature heavy and spell light and they just use Exert and other, triggered and activated abilities, this isn't the best card. It's still a 1/2 for 1 though with Prowess. So I don't know, Prowess doesn't go off when you cast another creature spell, so it's not amazing, but it's just a good card. A lot of the builds that I'm seeing, at least on X-Mage, definitely use the 1 cost +4 boost spells. We're talking, I nicknamed it the Nicolas Cage card, and now I have no idea what it's called. Oh yeah, Borrowed Hostility. There's another one that's Trample and Boost. There's really damn good cards out there right now. So if you're even running 8 total boost spells and the rest are creatures, I would put in Soul Scar, even though it doesn't have haste. So I think the staying power and the play around control and the mid game in case you don't, win on turn 4 or whatever, this is the card to go to. And as people start adapting to the deck, that's where you're going to want to be. Now, holy crap, let's talk about mid-game, because Hazoret the Pervert, we'll say, because that's how they wrote it on the other card, but it's really fervent, he was always $6 for the longest time. He was a little popular when he first came out, kind of. I think there was a little bit of time where he was $7, but he never was great, because playing with no cards in hand is stupid. It's really what I would consider to be a bad strategy, but it's still a 5/4 with haste, and it's indestructible. So the second he drops out, if he was the last card, well, it says 1 or fewer cards in hand, so you could have 1. Boom, you're swinging with him, and then you draw a card. Oh, it's unplayable. Oh no, it's situational, which in a red deck, come on. Boom, swing, and then, okay, I've got 2 cards in hand. Well, then pay 3, discard a card. It deals 2 damage to each opponent automatically, and then swings and does even more damage. The card's practically perfect. People just don't like the restriction on it. Well, welcome to all the god cards. They all have ridiculous restrictions. So yes, he costs 4, but he has haste. And there's, I think, only 1 other creature that costs 4 and has haste, actually, in red. But it looks like on July 27th, it was about $6.25, give or take. And it just was maybe going up a little bit as people got ideas. And then boom, overnight, it's a $20 card. So right now, depending upon where you look, it's somewhere between $16 and $20, which, you don't come across $20 cards very often. So I don't think Hazoret's going to go down anytime soon because the supply is terrible. Nobody's opening Amonkhet. It's completely worthless. So that's killing the supply, and honestly, not many people bought it in the first place because people kind of saw it coming that it was bad, and they canceled their follow-up orders. So like I said, as people move from, haha, I brute forced your face, oh look, Bowman Courier, again, for the 8th time, wow, which, by the way, that card's gone up a little tiny bit. You know, it's just rush, 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 oh boy, as soon as people's sideboards or even mainboards start adapting to it, you're gonna have to get more creative, and Hazoret the Fervent on turn 4 is a lot more creative. That's like, okay, you blew up 2 of my rushers, but I'm still gonna hit you. So speaking of that, we have got Chandra Torch of Defiance. This card always was insane. I mean, I believe it hit like 60 at one point. I mean, that's just crazy. But it did fall to like 20, but I'm surprised it never really fell below 20, not even for one day. So now that red's big, this is still 4 and it's double red, but no problem, it goes in red mono. I mean, you could honestly probably fit it in red-green rush too. And she's just good. She's got 4 abilities, 2 of them are pluses, and her -3 is devastating. It's almost impossible to protect her, but so what? She just goes out there and does red stuff. So recently she hit 35. She's kind of coming down a little bit because people are realizing that she's 35 and selling off their copies. Especially if anybody invested in her at 20, but if you did that, you're kind of dumb because 20 is not a good point to get into a card. But I mean, her +1 is exile the top card of your library. You may cast the card. If you don't, you can just choose not to, or it may not be castable. She deals 2 damage to each opponent, so there you go. I mean, even if it's a shock spell, you could just say, I don't want to cast it, and then 2 damage anyway. I totally don't remember if shock hits people. I never play shock. I think it's a terrible card. Then we got +1, add 2 mana to your mana pool. That's huge. Drop out another haster, cast another boost spell, whatever, just win the game. Her -3 is, you know, deal 4 damage to target creature, so there goes a creature, pretty much. And then her -7, I mean, who cares? Nobody's going to get there. The game's not going to go that long. But if it does, whenever you cast a spell, this emblem deals 5 damage to target creature or player. Yeah, you're going to win the game pretty quick there. I mean, creature spells qualify. Like, if you get that off, oh my god. So if you somehow manage to protect her, but your attack falls apart, I don't know, Bantu's Last Reckoning, there you go. Just emblem and kill him. So she's just overall really damn good. I mean, she's borderline overpowered, but it's just so classic red, and she comes out with only 4 loyalty, and red has trouble protecting her, and she doesn't really protect herself. I'd say it's appropriate, but it's on the high end of the power scale. So if somehow you still have one, I would sell it right about now. I just can't see it hitting like 40 or 45, and even if it does, from a percentage standpoint, that's not that, you know, amazing. Just get your 35 bucks. You know what's weird is Dragon Master Outcast hasn't gone up at all, and I would call that like an emergency end of the game strategy in case your red stuff falls apart. And if they're playing tons of removal, well, I don't know if I'd put in a 1/1 creature, but it's a thing. I mean, remember it generates the 5/5 dragon token, so that actually hasn't gone up. I'd keep my eye on it though. I mean, honestly, it's good for pretty much any other format. By the way, the Chandra from Oath of the Gatewatch that costs 6. Ooh, surprise, she's not doing anything. I think she actually went down. Oh, and by the way, one of the most annoying cards in Standard right now, Collective Brutality, that card has been on the rise since September, almost exactly steadily. I mean, you're talking a couple pennies per day, nonstop. Doesn't matter what was released. I mean, like Kaladesh came out, cool, it's $4. Aether Revolt came out, it's $8. And then Amonkhet came out, it's $10. Now that Hour of Devastation is out, it's $11.50. I definitely sold these at the wrong time. I think I sold them for 6 apiece. I mean, a kill spell mixed with a hand disruption, yeah, you think that might be a little popular? By the way, no change lately, but in case you missed it, Torrential Gear Hulk is about $20 and Spire Bluff Canal is about 10. So if you got those, sell them. So really that's about it. Nothing else is really like spiked lately. Some of them are steadily going up or a little bit down, like a Braid. I mean, $3 uncommon, that's cool. That really is quite a good spell. I mean, it's just so simplistic, but it's like what you see is what you get. This is what it does. Cool, people want that. Done. But I'd say that sums up all of the price movements in all of Standard right now. It'll be really interesting when Ixalan comes out because I don't think people are going to settle on what cards spike real quickly. I mean, even at the Pro Tour, we're going to lose so many concepts, so many decks. Some people are going to still be trying to make old decks work, and some people are going to come up with new decks, but then later people are going to come up with better new decks, and it's just going to be like a mess, but not really because I'm sick of people playing the same deck over and over and over. That's just no fun. So hopefully Red Rush becomes less common. I know right after a set's release, there's almost always a Red Wins kind of deck. and then it's always popular for about 5 minutes, and then people drop it. But this time around, it looks to have some staying power because it actually has a mid-game, and a lot of people picked up the mid-game cards already, and that's not good. So, will it result in another banning? If everybody just wins on turn 4 or 5, and it's just the perfect set of red removal with the perfect set of red damage every single time, and nothing other than an exact, precise, scalpel level antidote is going to stop it, then yes, they're going to ban something. I don't know what. Probably Earthshaker and Crop Crasher, or whatever, the two that say that people can't block, because that's just like the end of the world. It's ridiculous. Even Death Touchers and Walls can't stop that. So to force people to play, 8 to 12 cards of creature kill just to survive in the meta at all is just stupid, because not every deck wants to do that. But that said, in the meantime, do watch for the antidote to the red deck, because I'm building it right now. So that'll be out very, very shortly. If you don't want to miss it, hit the subscribe button. And thanks for watching. If you have any other price tips that I missed, leave them down in the comments section, and I will see you guys next video.